Hey everyone, this is Michael Risk with Expanding Capacity. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're going to focus on this week, we're going to focus on the fundamental movement of reaching, something that people often do and they throw their back out because they turn the wrong way. There's really no such thing. The reality is when we reach, the reaching places demands on our body, and we either have the resources in our body to accommodate that demand or we don't have it. Right. And then it's the repetitive nature. If we keep exceeding our threshold with any activity, we're eventually going to get injured. So what we're going to do today is we'll start with just a few breaths just to ground ourselves. Then we'll get up, we'll go through a litmus test to kind of see what's the quality of our ability to reach in a variety of directions. We'll do some specific work focused on the foot today, and then we'll come back and recheck. All right, so let's have at it. Let's go with 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And one more here. All right, let's get to it. So the first thing we're going to need is a litmus test, all right, just to see what our starting point is, and then we can tell if our routine is effective. We're going to start with a posture scan. Okay, so we'll go feet about hip width apart, arms nice and relaxed, eyes closed. And let's just get a sense of where are your shoulders? Are they more rounded, neutral, or chest out? And I'd say I'm probably somewhere between neutral and a little bit more on the chest outside today. All right. And then the next thing we want to do is we're going to go through a reach matrix. Anytime I use the word matrix, it just means that we're going to do it in 3 ways. The body moves forward to back, side to side, and we rotate. So let's do it. All right. So we're going to get our feet probably just a little bit more than hip width apart. You can stay facing me. You're going to take your left hand and you're going to reach it back 5 times, just like this. So nice and easy. And what you should feel as you're doing this is the body rotating with the arm. Okay, so you'll see how my shoulders turn toward you. Okay, now I'm just going to switch that over. And actually, I'm going to give you another view. Let's take the right hand. We're going to reach straight back. All right, so as I reach back, my shoulders rotate to the left. I feel a little more weight transition to the outside of my left foot and the inside of my right. All right, that's when we notice the whole body participating in a movement. That's called the chain reaction. All right, and now we're going to alternate sides. All right, so I'll go back to the side view here. So we're going to go left hand back, right hand back. And you may notice that one hand reaches back more naturally. For me, that's my left. My left feels like it goes considerably further back than my right. Now, exactly where that limitation is coming from, I have an idea, but I don't know for sure. But as we go throughout reaching this week, I'm eventually going to do some technique at some part of the body that's going to really free me up. And then I'll know which one's limiting my right arm from reaching back. Let's go for one more here. Okay, so now what we want to do is let's just change the plane of motion. So I'm going to stay facing you. I'm going to reach to my right, but it would be your left. Okay, so you're going to take your left hand and you're going to reach to your left side. You're going to reach. Just imagine there's something, not that you would ever grab anything in this way directly, necessarily in exactly this way, but we do have a function of reaching to the side. Okay, and then just kind of get a sense of how far you reach out from the body. Okay, and then the other way. None of these movements are forced for me, by the way. Okay, I'm just looking for my edge. Where can I go to naturally within this pattern without forcing it? And I just go right there. All right, now let's alternate sides. Okay, so now when I reach, my right hand reaches further away from my body naturally than my left. So you can see how tricky this is and why people have a hard time getting better is I reach better with my left hand reaching back, but I reach better with my right hand reaching to the sides. So we have to understand 3-dimensional movement, and then that actually becomes a way of assessing ourselves and our capacity. All right, I think we're about 10 there. The last one we're going to do here is a rotation. All right, I'm going to demo from the back. All right, so what we want to do here is we're going to reach the left hand across the body to the right. left across to the right. Now you'll notice this is a rotational reach. You should feel your whole body twisting to the right. All right, and now you're going to go with the other hand, whole body twisting to the left. And for me, again, here, reaching to my left side is very limited compared to the other direction. All right, and now we're going to alternate sides. All right, so this is a great way to get a sense of how one side of the body moves versus the other. And what's really cool about this is just notice what's happening in your feet. Which side do you more naturally move toward the foot? Right. Again, for me, it's when I reach this way, my right foot is way more accepting of the weight than when I go the other way. Okay, so now we have our litmus test. Now we want to go through our routine. Today, specifically, we're going to focus on foot function. There's lots of ways to do it, but I just wanted to pick something that felt simple yet productive. Right, so we're going to focus specifically on the forefoot's function. Okay, so that's the front of the foot. It's the toes, and the area just behind the toes is the forefoot. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back through those exact same reaching patterns. So we're going to start by reaching our left hand back. All right, now when we reach our left hand back, I'm actually going to go up onto my right toes, just like this. All right, so I just want you to see, I'm going to be holding on with one hand. My left foot is going to be straight and flat on the ground. My right foot, I'm just going to be more on the ball of my foot, so like my tippy toes. I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to reach straight back. Now, as I do this, this is placing a demand specifically on the forefoot, which does play a role in the reach. So if this part of your body was limiting your reach anyway, you'll know by the end of this routine because we're going to free it up in all three planes. We're going to go for 10 reaches. We're going to hold the 10th and then pulse for 10. Okay, a couple more here. And then we're going to hold. Okay, now ready? We're just going to pulse. And the whole idea with pulsing is to teach people how to find the edge or their threshold right when the body starts to resist the movement. As I get to the edge of what I can do here, I can feel my leg shaking. That's a good thing because it means that my nervous system is detecting that we're in new territory, uncharted territory, new range of motion. Okay, let's call that 10. All right, now we're just going to switch hands here. I'm going to go up onto the left foot now. I'm going to take my right hand. I'm going to reach straight back. And whoa, huge limitation here for me. Much, much harder for me to reach this way. My left forefoot feels completely resistant to this movement. Okay, so this could be a huge reason why it's hard for me to reach my right hand back. Because I'm taking one part of the chain reaction and I'm just exposing it and saying, hey, what's your role in this movement? Let's call that 9 and hold. Okay, ready? 10, just stay right at the edge. Don't bounce here. It's just a gentle pulse. And you want to move right to the edge of what your body can and cannot do. It's almost just like you want to kiss the edge, real gentle. There's more of a request, less of a demand that we're placing on the body. 9, 10. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the side plane. All right. So the way that'll look is we're going to go weight bearing on the right foot. We're going to hold with the left hand. The right hand's going to reach out to the right side. All right, so now right hand to the right. Okay, and hopefully you start to get a sense of, oh man, I never really thought that I could kind of emphasize or target one part of the body in a whole body movement. Well, I didn't know that either until I did know it. And I have to give a quick shout out to the Gray Institute for teaching me all this wonderful information about the human body and how it functions. It's really helped me help many, 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 many people, including pro athletes, which I would have never had the opportunity to do had I not, gained this knowledge. Okay, let's call that 10 there. We're going to hold nice and easy. And so this, you're going to feel the weight shifting toward the small toe, which is really important for a lot of people because I don't know if you've ever heard of the term of a fifth ray fracture. That's basically when the metatarsal on the right or on the outside of the foot breaks. People break this part of the foot just because they lose the capacity to weight bear there. And then when there's an activity that forces them to go there, the body can't tolerate it. Okay, we'll call that 10. So now let's go to the other side. So we're going to go left foot up on the tippy toes, right hand's holding. And let's go here again. Now I'm starting to sense a pattern. It's when my left foot is in this position, I'm really limited. So this is how part of the way, I would consider myself a bit of a movement detective, right? So it's all about finding out which part of the body has the low capacity that's not supporting the rest of the chain reaction. If we can find that part of the body and then start to expand its capacity, the whole body benefits. So I would do something like this for somebody who has knee pain, back pain, neck pain. It could be any part of the body. We want to find the weakest link and hold. All right. And now we're just going to go nice and easy right at the edge. 9, 8. And I'm also sensing here that I'm having a harder time getting to the outside of this foot. My leg's shaking quite a bit more and it's fatiguing more quickly. And 10. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the rotational plane. And this will be the last one, then we'll go to our retest. All right, so we're going to go back to that right foot. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the left hand and we're going to reach it across the body. So we want to make sure that we're going through this rotational movement. All right, so across the body like so. Okay, so right hand holding. Now we're up on the tippy toe on the right side. We go across the body. There's this great phrase that I heard from a buddy of mine: variety builds capacity. Right? The more ways we do more things, the more functional we become. The more prepared we are for the dynamic demands that life places on us. Right? Life is not linear, not in the realm of mind, body, or spirit. So we need to be prepared. And we do that by exploring variability. Right? All of the ways that we can move. Man, if we just learned this stuff as kids, I could only imagine. Hang right there. Okay, ready? Little pulse. All right. You're just really pulsing the reach and the rest of the body will follow along. 8, starting to shake a little bit there. 9, 10. Okay, so now let's switch it over. So we're going to go left hand holding, left ball of foot, right hand's going to reach across, and I can already tell, yeah, my left foot is the culprit here. So it's kind of one of those gotcha moments. And this is one of those skills I wish I had when I was a young personal trainer. I could have helped so many more people in many more profound ways. Because one of the things that kept my clients from reaching their goals was injury. We'd be trucking along, but like the body just shut down. The demands of the workout exceeded their body's physical resources. 9, hold, okay, and then pulse. All right, so when I reach a very hard edge like this, I approach it very gently. There's nothing forceful about it. You can't force the nervous system to do something because you have to recognize that your brain just doesn't even understand what exists beyond this limitation. So it's going to do everything it can to keep you from falling over or getting injured. So you want to just be patient, be gentle. 9, 10. Okay. So now what we're going to do is let's go back through our litmus test. I can already tell I feel much, much taller in my body. All right, we'll start with the eyes closed. No, we're going to finish with that. I'm sorry. Let's go to the reach. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our left hand. We're going to reach it back 5 times. 4, 3, 2, 1. Right hand. Now my right's still limited, but I will say that the sensations in my body is that everything feels much more controlled. It's not even that I'm going through a further range. Range is not the only factor here. And now let's alternate. but I just feel like my body's more controlled going throughout this range. I feel safer doing it. I also feel more aware of what my actual threshold is. And it's body awareness. That's the key to expanding capacity. So now let's go to our lateral reach. I'll say facing you. Okay, so let's reach 5 times to the left. All right, let's go to the right. Yeah, to your right. This is my left. That still trips me up. The good thing is my reach has expanded in this direction. So I'm definitely getting a little further away from the body here. All right, now let's alternate sides. So we'll go for 5, 4, 3, 2. Much better here. 1. Okay, so since the range did increase in this direction for me, and my left forefoot was a thing that I conditioned, that meant that my forefoot was part of the reason why I couldn't reach out. All right, so now I have more of a stable base down there. So now let's go to the rotational. So you're going to take your right hand, you're going to reach across your body to the left. So we go for 5, 4. My body feels much more engaged here. Okay, and then we're going to switch that over. Also better for me here. Okay, so the only direction that didn't really improve was the reaching back. And that's okay, because it's just information. It just tells me, now that could have still been part of it, but it just also could mean that something else is involved. And so I'd have to just go and kind of sniff it out and see what it is. Now let's alternate sides. And one really important thing to keep in mind here, well, I'll let you stay focused on what it is that you're doing right now. Just be in your body. Feel what's happening. I can feel the chain reaction in my body. Everything's participating more naturally in this movement. Let's call that 9 and 10. All right, now let's go to our posture scan. Now I'm definitely in a full chest out posture. Let's finish with our 3 deep breaths here. So what I was going to mention earlier is the thing that we want to really keep in mind is when we sense imbalances left versus right, okay, that is the root cause. I couldn't say this strongly enough. Those capacity differences are the root cause of all of your symptoms, including stiffness, pain, injury, the inability to heal, getting injured over and over again, weakness, instability, flare-ups, the list goes on and on and on. I never chase symptoms ever. I never even try to fix a symptom. It's just getting the whole body to work together the way that it's designed to, because once it does that, that is the healing environment. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hop into a check-in call with my community members at Expanding Capacity. So it's school.com/expanding capacity. And we're going to explore some of these limitations. I'm going to answer questions that they have. If you'd like to be a member, come check us out. All right. I hope you make it a wonderful day, and I'll see you back tomorrow. We're going to explore the hips. Cheers.